How you doing, folks? Today we're going to be making a spicy honey bourbon barbecue sauce that I'm going to be putting over top of a Boston butt that I put in my cast iron Dutch oven. Put that in there last night. Cooked it at 225 overnight. And somewhere's around 10, 11 hours at 225. I'm going to shred that up. We're going to make our barbecue sauce in this big pot. This has been sitting for, I don't know, about 20, 30 minutes right now. The pan is still hot and warm, but I put my hand on it. It's been resting in there. I'll take that out, shred it up, get rid of the bone and some gristle and other stuff you don't want to eat. Then we're going to put it in this barbecue sauce. I got some light brown sugar here that I will put in the pan. I'll turn the pan on. And we're going to put about a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups. Yeah, that's about a little over a packed cup. Almost half this package. And we're going to put a honey bourbon in there, which there's not much left. Now you could use bourbon and honey, but I decided to just go with a little honey bourbon. That's going to be about a cup. You know what? There ain't even enough to do a shot. Might as well dump it in there. Now, if you're worried about cooking with alcohol, the alcohol is going to burn off. You're not going to get any alcohol in this, but you will get the flavor. I'm going to stir that around until it's going to be very sweet, but it's also going to be very spicy. And the spice, what I have is from Ed Curry at the Pucker Butt Pepper Company, is extra hot gator sauce. This is made with Pepper X and also a little Carolina Reaper powder. I've cooked with this once, just tasting it, putting it on something, eating it. It's got a weird stinging bite to it. It's not really that enjoyable, but cooking with it brings out the flavors of that Pepper X pepper. I also have Carolina Squeezins, which cooking with that is just intensifies the heat. This, it kind of mellows out a little bit, takes that sting away, but you still have that heat. I also got some apple cider vinegar. And we're going to put a couple tablespoons in there. Got some Worcestershire. About a tablespoon, a little over. We'll let this alcohol burn off. Let that sugar melt in. And of course, we're going to put some spice in it. And most homemade barbecue sauces call for ketchup. But why would you put ketchup in something loaded with preservatives, loaded with high fructose corn syrup? The whole idea with the barbecue sauce is getting the tomato base into it. That's ketchup. It's ketchup without the water, without the sugar, tomato paste. So that's what we're going to add to it. Give us our tomato base. And we'll let this cook down. We might add some water to it as well. But I don't know if we'll have to. I did put a lot of bourbon in there. And that sugar's starting to melt out. Turn that up just a hair. And we'll add some seasoning to it. Got a little black, no, that's oregano. Got a little black pepper. Put as much or as little as you like. Me, I'm a pepper junkie. I want that pepper. We're not going to salt. We always salt at the end. We always salt at the end. Once all the spices and all the flavors have come out, then you give it a taste, then you salt it to taste. And the salt will bring out the flavors of everything. Got a little onion powder here. Now we're not going to do a lot of this, a lot of seasoning. We just want to bring out some flavors. There's some garlic powder. The alcohol is starting to boil a little bit. I have a little coriander. Coriander works good with curries and meats. And I've got a little, where's my chili powder? Here we go. Put a little chili powder in there. That's also going to give it some color. Like to take that little hole, the holes and open them up a little bit. It's starting to get caked up a little bit. Yeah, I can still smell that alcohol coming off of it. Like I said, if you don't want to use the alcohol, you don't have to. You can use just water. You can make a barbecue sauce with water base. I mean, when you buy barbecue sauce in a store, even though it might be say it's a honey bourbon barbecue sauce, there's no bourbon in that. It's just flavoring. So you don't have to use alcohol if you don't like, but the alcohol will burn off. You just give it a smell every now and then. Yeah, I can smell the alcohol is starting to diminish. Turn this back down a little bit. It's boiling a little hard. That's okay. Burning that alcohol off. Starting to caramelize that brown sugar a little bit. Starting to turn color. And we're going to put our gator sauce in there. Now this stuff, if you want it really spicy, put a nice glob in there. If you don't want it so spicy, and you got to be very careful. There's 1 little drop, 2 little drops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little drops. And trust me, 10 little drops of that stuff is going to give this barbecue sauce a nice little bite. It's not going to be so hot that it's going to kill you, but it's going to give a nice bite to it and a beautiful flavor of that Pepper X pepper. We're going to put our tomato paste in there. Like I said, I might add a little water to this as well, and then cook it back down. It all depends on how much it cooks down and how thick it gets, how intense the flavors are. Get all that off the spoon. Dissolve that tomato paste in there. Oh yeah, this is looking good. I might have to, once this dissolves and simmers for a little bit, you constantly taste and adjust your seasoning the way you want. You know, it might not be sweet enough for you. Put a little more brown sugar in there. Just remember when you add brown sugar, give it a little more liquid and let it cook back down. Might be too much tomato flavor for you. Then add a little more vinegar. Add a little more Worcestershire. So this, I'm going to probably add some water to this. This is very thick. And once it simmers down and reduces, it's going to be almost like a glaze. But we're going to give this a little taste. We're going to give this just a little taste. Nice and sweet. I can taste the tomato. Turn that down a little bit. I'm starting to splatter everywhere. Making a mess in my kitchen. Yeah, that heat starts to come in. Yep. Doesn't taste hot at first. But then about 15 seconds, 20 seconds later, that heat starts coming through. So we're going to add a little water to that. That was probably 3/4 of a cup, maybe. There we go. Oh, making a mess of my shirt. We'll let that simmer and reduce by half. Give it another little taste as I added the water. Oh, the heat's starting to come through. When you're cooking with these sauces like this, especially the Carolina Reaper or this new Pepper X, when you cook with it, the heat intensifies, but it also mellows out. The initial sting, the initial burn kind of goes away, but then it comes in slowly and it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. But this is not so hot that people that enjoy, or they say they enjoy hot foods, would love this. This is not very hot. For me, it's not hot at all, but it has a nice little bite to it. People that like spicy foods, say they like spicy foods, this would be perfect. If you go to a restaurant and you order wings and you like to order them hot, but not super hot, just hot, like a hot barbecue, this would be perfect for you. It's got a nice little kick to it, but you can make it hotter or just eliminate it all. You can put a little crushed red pepper in there if you don't want, a little cayenne pepper in there if you don't want to use these type of sauces. Or you could use like something mild like Frank's or any of those other hot sauces. We're going to let this reduce down a little bit. Let it simmer and reduce down. Let me get a sheet pan over here. Yep. Stove is a little small for me. I need to get myself a nice studio. And I could just see me with a big studio kitchen, like the professional YouTube cooks are. You know, I hope you guys enjoy this type of content. This is not scripted. I don't script anything. If I make a mistake in the kitchen, I show it. Here's that bone just pulled right off. Oh yeah. I'm not even gonna be able to get this out of here without falling apart. Like I said, this was cooked in this Dutch oven at 225 for about 11 hours. In the bottom of this pan is a trivet. I put a trivet in the bottom of this pan. That's why it's a little difficult getting this out of here. There's a trivet down there. I put the fat side down, and that's what's left in here is a lot of fat. And a little piece of meat there. Yeah, that's all fat right there. Now this liquid that's in this pan, you don't have to throw it away. You could cook it down. You could reduce it down. And you can use it for a base for a stock. Yep, there we go. That's all of it out. Okay, we're going to shred this up. Yep, that is perfect. We're going to get rid of some of the fat, but not all of it. You want a little fat in there. It keeps it moist, keeps it juicy. Most of the fat in this is rendered out. And it don't take much to shred it up. There's a big old chunk of fat I don't want. Another little layer of fat right there I don't want. Yeah, this turned out beautiful. You could do this in a crock pot. But if you have cast iron, use your cast iron, especially for something like this. This turned out wonderful. Now seasonings, I just put a little of my standard onion powder, garlic powder, pepper. I did not salt this. You don't want to salt this while it's cooking. That'll draw out moisture. Oh yeah, there we go. A couple big chunks right there. I'm sure Buddy will get a piece of this before I put barbecue sauce on it. Little chunk of fat right there I don't want. There we go. One little bone that was in that Boston butt. They also had pork shoulder there. I looked at a pork shoulder. It was a little big for me because, of course, I'm cooking for just me. And, of course, Buddy will get a piece of this. Sauce is starting to reduce down nicely. It's still a little watery, but it's starting to reduce down nicely. And we'll come back. We'll come back here in a little bit after that sauce is reduced down. We'll put this in with the sauce and we'll reduce it down. A little fat right there. Get rid of that. Yeah, that's fat. You know what? I'm going to take a little piece. Yep. That is tender and juicy. We'll be back here in a little bit once this reduces down. We'll put the meat in the sauce. We'll simmer it down. And we'll make us up a sandwich. All right, folks. Got me another little pan here. I put the meat in another pan. If I dump this meat in here, way too much sauce. But that's a good thing. Now you got extra sauce. This is still simmering. And it's reduced. It's gotten a lot thicker. But it needs to go longer. But the flavors are there. I salted it to taste. I am just going to drizzle this over top of this. Then I'm going to make me a sandwich. See if that's going to be enough. And I need a little more in there. Oh yeah, need some more. Need some more. I almost could have put it all in there, but oh, that's good. I hope you'll try this recipe. Make your own barbecue sauce. Heck, make your own ketchup. Make your own mayonnaise. Make your own bread. Yeah, I think that's enough sauce. We're going to let that sauce just go spot right there. Need some sauce. There we go. We're going to let that sauce continue to simmer. Put that down on a low. Not much sauce in there. Yeah, it's enough to do a pork chop or something. We'll get a nice pile on here. There we go. Now the presentation on this, it's not going to be like a store-bought. I mean, that's how they promote store-bought stuff. If you notice, this is not thick like, but there's all kinds of chemicals to make it super thick, and they load it with sugar. Granted, this is sweet with honey bourbon and brown sugar, but there's no fructose corn syrup in here. Taste is going to be out of this world. Take a little extra sauce. And there you have like a presentation. I hope you try this recipe and enjoy. Thank you very much.